So good morning, students. Today we are going to revise syllabus for revision test second. In your revision test second, there will be 3 chapters: Wandering Singers, Bermuda Triangle, and Loch Ness Monster. We were successful in doing these 3 chapters. We have done these 3 chapters so many times. I have made you revised also yesterday. So today I am going to discuss with you one of the writing skills, that is speech writing. It is also a part of your revision test second, and this revision test second will be conducted not on Saturday. It will be conducted in place of Saturday. It will be conducted on Monday, because on Saturday you have holiday. So it will be conducted on Teachprint app. All the information will be shared to you on WhatsApp group also. Clear? So get ready for your revision test second. Do well, give your best, and do all the topics very, very carefully. So let's take speech writing. Today's chapter we can do tomorrow also there are classes. I'll be teaching you that Loch Ness Monster also tomorrow. Okay, so today I thought that we should take writing skill, that is speech writing. There is speech writing also in your syllabus, and debate writing is also in your syllabus. Okay, so let's revise this topic. In speech writing, you have to follow the proper format. I have told you so many times, don't write down all the speech, full speech in single paragraph. You have to divide into different segments. Okay, so to divide into different segments, it is very much compulsory to understand the format of the speech. So let's begin with this. This segment of the speech can be divided into 7 parts. First part is that introduction. Okay, what can be written in introduction? Can anybody tell me from your class? Because it has been discussed so many times and all the points should be so abrupt in your mind. Tell me, in introduction, what should be written? Yes, it can be any quote, any data. Yes, any anecdote. Anecdote means any small short story. After that, second. Yes, very good. It should be formal address. Now, can anybody tell me what can be added in formal address? Yes, formal address means you have to greet the audience by saying good morning. How can you greet the audience? By saying good morning, like good morning one and all. Good morning, all of you present here. A very charm and cheerful good morning to all of you. Okay, and a very good morning to Principal Ma'am, worthy teachers, and all my dear friends. Okay, so there are different ways to say good morning, but this will be considered one part, one segment of your speech, and there should be a gap between first and second. Now, what will be the third? Yes, announcement of the topic. Announcement of the topic. When you are going to announce your topic, so here you have to mention, you have to tell about your name, your class, and what is your topic that you are going to deliver today. So your name, class, and topic should cover in this announcement of the topic, like I dash of class dash is here in front of you to represent my views on this topic. And it should be written separate, not mix formal address and announcement together. Take a gap in between so that teacher can come to know that my student knows the format and they have divided whole of the speech into into 7 segments. Speech and debate all have same format, only the tone of the language is different. And I have told you one thing more, that in speech we write down topic, but in debate what do we write down? Yes, when we are writing debate, when we are going to introduce our topic, we will not write down topic that today I'm here to describe my feelings on this topic. Today I'm here to speak in favor of the motion or to speak against the motion. So when you are going to deliver a debate, you will be writing motion, but when you are going to deliver a speech, then you will be writing topic. Clear? After that, fourth, development of the topic. In development of the topic, you will be developing all your ideas in a systematic way. First of all, make, as in maths you do rough work, in English also you can do rough work. So you jot down all the points in rough, okay? Then you can arrange all the ideas in the paragraph of development. Clear? Then winding up. So many times I have told you about winding up. What should be added in winding up? Winding up means you are going to sum up your ideas. You are going to sum up your idea. So when you are going to sum up your idea, so you can write down little bit here. You can write down one line on criticism also. It doesn't mean that you pick up lines from the development paragraph and you jot down 2-3 lines and there will be a repetition. If you do like this, so your marks will be deducted. Winding up doesn't mean that you are repeating your ideas. Whatever you have written in development, you just take a gist of all the things. You understand the gist, no? Meaning? Okay, so you just take a gist of all the things and you wind up. Wind up will show that you are approaching to the end. You are approaching to the end of your topic. So here you are approaching to the idea, you are approaching to the end of your topic. You can sum up your all ideas. You can write on one line on criticism also, or it can be a journal comment. Clear? If you memorize these points, then you will never fail in writing debate and speech. You should know this thing, that winding up should not be a long paragraph, only near about 3-4 lines, not more than that. So in these 3-4 lines only, you will show that you are approaching to the end. You are summing up all your ideas, and you can write down one line on criticism or journal comment. After that winding up, there will be a conclusion. When you are writing conclusion, so to write down this concluding paragraph smartly, you can pick up these words. In the beginning, you can write down like to conclude, in a nutshell, in crux, in brief, or briefly. So write down these words in the beginning when you are writing conclusion paragraph. It should also be very much short. But in this conclusion paragraph, you can write down one line on hope or any appeal. It doesn't mean that again you are summing up your ideas, you are writing just no. In conclusion, you can write an only single line to conclude your topic, and afterwards you can add any of the line on hope, an appeal, or a call for action. Call for action. These things you can write down. Clear? Then after that, formal thanks. What my dear students do, so many times I have checked your test and papers. I am so surprised. The teacher always checks this line very, very carefully, that the student knows about formal thanks or not. The student knows about how to formally thank the audience. So when you write down all, in 50% chances I have seen, so many students write down the spellings of listener wrong. Why wrong? Listener should be like this, L-I-S-T-E-N, listen, then R. Sorry, L-I-S-T-E-N-E-R, listener. L-I-S-T-E-N, listen, then E-R. Thanks for being a patient listener. So P-A-T-I-E-N-T. Write down these spellings very, very carefully. In listener, you forget to write down E, and in patient, also you commit mistakes. So thanks for being a patient listener. Thanks for giving your valuable time, or only thanks. All are considered right. So this is a format that you have to keep in your mind while doing speech and while doing debate. And when you will be writing development paragraph, it should not seem only like a paragraph. In between, you have to write down near about minimum 5 expressions. Now, what can be the expression which can be added in speech writing? Can anybody tell me? My dear audience, ladies and gentlemen, the point. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear audience, in my opinion, I think so. I would like to represent. I humbly request you. Okay. So in this way, you have to express your views by adding these lines in your development paragraph. And when you are going to do this in debate, format will be same, but the tone will be different in development. Here you will say, I firmly reject by saying, my what the opponent is saying, I protest, I strongly oppose, I fail to understand, I condemn, in the contrary. So such kind of expressions you can add in debate, that you are completely against the opponent. You are completely against the opponent, and you have to prove yourself that you are right and your opponent is completely wrong. You are against him. If your opponent is in favor, so you will be in against motion, but if he or she is against the motion, so you will be in favor. So you have to prove yourself by saying that your what the opponent is speaking wrong. Whatever you are saying, you are right on your side. But when you are doing a speech, so you have to humbly, very politely, with courtesy, you have to represent your topic in front of the audience in a very, very nice way by humbly adding expressions like, in my opinion, I think so. My dear friends, don't you think so? I would like to represent by saying, I hope you will understand. The tone of the language should be very polite, very soft, and don't forget to put expressions. And I'm giving you one tip also. As soon as you write down any expression in your speech, underline that expression side by side. Don't think that after my exam, I will be underlining. It will be a wastage of time, because you have to go through the speech or debate again. You will not have much time in that, because English paper is too lengthy. Okay, so whenever you put any expression, underline that expression and think in your mind that I have used minimum 5 expressions in my speech or debate. Only then your development paragraph will look lively. It will not seem like a boring and monotonous paragraph, because it is a speech, not a paragraph. So keep all these points in your mind while framing this speech. Introduction. If in the introduction you have to write down quotation, data, any anecdote, any short story. Formal address can be made very much impressive by adding good lines. Good morning, a very cheerful and warm good morning to one and all, like this. And I dash of dash class dash is here to represent my topic on this. In development, add near about 5 expression. If you know more than 5, so you can write down. And if you think development paragraph is too long, so you can split it into 2 parts. And when you are going to move to winding up, you just sum up your ideas. It doesn't mean that you are going to copy your ideas from the development paragraph. You pick up some lines, but take a gist of all those lines and write down the gist. Don't do repetition. If you do repetition, marks can be deducted. And it is very much compulsory while writing a winding up paragraph that you write down any journal comment or any criticism, and you should show that you are very end to your speech. You are going to approach to the end, and it should have only 3 to 4 lines, not more than that. And in conclusion, when you are going to conclude your all ideas, so you can begin your line by writing this: to conclude, in nutshell, in crux, in brief, or briefly. This way can be adopted to write a conclusion paragraph to make it more impressive. But again, I'm telling you, there should not be any repetition. Again, you are going to conclude, you are going to sum up. And how you can sum up? By expressing any hope. Not now, you are not picking up lines from development and the winding up. You are writing another hope. That what is your hope? That whatever the ideas you have represented in front of the audience, so you hope that they will act upon your advice. They have listened to you, and they are going to bring this change in their life. Okay, and they will think about that. Or you can write in about call for action or appeal. It means you can humbly request them that please do something in this favor, please do something, and think about that we are on this verge, or we are losing, and we are having that any harm. So you can write down about this hope, appeal, or call for action, that what steps can be taken in future to avoid it. That is known as call for action. And when you are writing a formal address, so write down patient and listener spelling very, very carefully. And I hope that this concept is clear. In speech also format is same, in debate also format is same. So in one period we are able to do 2 writing skills. We have done it so many times, but again I have taken a overview so that you can revise it thoroughly. Now I'm going to take one topic. We will be discussing about that topic and you write down this speech in class only. So write down your topic. I'm going to take a very much interesting topic for speech. The topic is if wildlife vanishes. If wildlife vanishes. What is the meaning of vanishes? Disappear. Yes. If wildlife vanishes, can man be far behind? Can man be far behind? If wildlife vanishes, can man be far behind? So you can write down any quotation on wildlife. You can frame any of the quotation of 2-3 lines on wildlife, on man, or their existence, about their relation, about food chain. You can keep all these points in your mind, and you will be formally address the audience by saying good morning. You will announce the topic. Now here comes a list of development. For development, let's discuss ideas. With the help of these ideas, you can frame your speech. Now tell me about your ideas. Tell me one by one. Online students also text me. I'll be reading your text. I will be reading your messages. Okay. Okay, good. See, we are poaching tiger. Tiger is poached. Poached means hunted for skin. And elephants. Elephants for ivory. But okay, these tasks are going on. You can write down about this thing. Okay. Other wildlife animals also you can write down. Other wildlife animals you can also write down, which are being poached. Here use the word poached. Poached means hunted. So you can make a very good list of all those animals who are being poached. Okay. And who is doing who is responsible for this? Who is doing? Man. Who is doing all this thing? Man. And you can write down that man is considered the most intelligent, but he is doing all the things. Man is considered the most intelligent and thinking animal. Man is considered the most intelligent and thinking animal. But he is doing all this cruel work. And he is poaching these animals for skin, for ivory, for leather. So you can make a list of all those animals. Okay. After that, you can take one paragraph about Mahatma Gandhi. Why I'm taking Mahatma Gandhi here? I'll be telling you, because Wildlife Week was celebrated. Yes, Wildlife Week was celebrated in India with great fervor and with great enthusiasm by keeping all the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi in our mind. We kept all the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi in our mind while celebrating Wildlife Week. Okay. Why? Because he was a symbol of, tell me, symbol of non-violence. Non-violence. Okay. He was not in the favor that anybody should be killed. And he was a symbol of non-violence and peace. So are we following his preachings? The people who are killing those animals, so are they following the preachings of Mahatma Gandhi? So you can pick up some lines from there to make your speech. Because whatever the sympathy and compassion, sympathy or compassion that was shown by Mahatma Gandhi, do we think that we have that sympathy and compassion? We means we all are human beings and we all are poaching those. So these people who are poaching the animals, do you think that they have these qualities, sympathy and compassion, that we have learned from Mahatma Gandhi? Do we deserve it? So you can take this example, that Wildlife Week was celebrated by keeping all the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi, because he was considered as a symbol of non-violence and peace, and he was so passionate and full of sympathy, and we have not inherited all these qualities from him. So these are the value points that I have given you. You can pick up these value points, you can pick up these points, and you can add these points in your speech. Clear? Now tell me next. Any another point that comes in your mind? You jot down all these hints. Afterwards, I'm going to move further. Jot down these hints. Hurry up so that I can move further. Yes, Brijesh, you are raising your hand. Written this. Shall I move further? Okay. Now we will take the example of our vast India. You can write down about the qualities of India in this speech. That India is known for that it has maximum species of animals, maximum species of birds and animals. It has mega biodiversity. It is known for mega biodiversity. It is known for its rich heritage. It is known for its rich species of all kinds of birds and animals. Yes. It is known for its forest, all the tropical areas, and in this forest and in these areas so many species are living. Okay. It is known for its lush green forest, lush green forest, deserts. In deserts also so many kind of species can be found. Okay. And these deserts are hot also and cold also. Hot and cold deserts are found there. Lush green plains and valleys are found there. And so many wildlife sanctuaries are also found there. So many wildlife sanctuaries are also found in India. So you can take all these examples, you can jot down, and you can include all these examples in your speech. Okay. But in all these areas, what are found? Different kind of, tell me, different kind of species. So many birds and animals, but their life is safe. Their life is in danger. Their life is in always in danger. At any time they can be poached and they can be wiped out. They can be wiped out for the sake of for the human beings. So they can be wiped out by the human beings. So you just take the example of India's, what is found there, and in such kind of area, different kind of species are found. Brijesh has been removed from my class because he was creating a nuisance there. In online class, he was creating a nuisance. I have removed him. And those students who are associated with him, I'm going to also remove them. Pay attention what is going in the class. It is for your welfare. It is for your benefit. Whatever I'm teaching you, this all is a part of your syllabus. And if you pay proper attention, your half of the syllabus will be done only in class. If you pay proper attention. So these points you can take to frame your development paragraph. So start writing, all of you. Start writing, all of you. You can also take the example of food chain, that in this food chain, who is at the top? You have gone through your science. In food chain, who is at the top? We, man. Man is at the top. So who will be at the loss at last? Man. Who is doing poaching and hunting at last? He has to suffer a lot because in the food chain, man is at the top. You can frame 2-3 lines on this food chain also. You can write them better than me. You are a science student. It is your subject. You can write down about food chain. That you can show that there is a vital link between the existence of wildlife and the existence of man. And man is at the top of food chain. And if this food chain collapses, the life of everyone will be in danger. If this food chain collapses, the life of everyone will be in danger. So man's future hangs in balance because wildlife is an integral component of our biodiversity and ecosystem. So you keep all these points in your mind. Now start writing. Now, who is going to tell me development paragraph? I'm going to listen from you one by one. Who is going to tell me? Yes, online students, raise your hand whose paragraph is ready. Diptikirti is asking me, please repeat the paragraph of food chain. See, if we take the example of food chain, so the man will be at the top. How man will be at the top? You can describe food chain, okay? And if this food chain collapses, if there is a danger in the food chain, so at last, who will have to suffer? Only man has to suffer, okay? So keep all these things in your mind while framing paragraph of development. Okay, Manyavid, written. It is a little bit complicated topic, but you can make it interesting by adding all these points. Then your speech writing will become easy for you. Okay. Now we are running out of time. Hurry up, start writing development paragraph. Pick up all these hints which are written in front of you. डेफिनेटली की स्पेलिंग सही करो एन आई थोड़ा डेफिनेटली पहले ही तो गलत है ना. So students, are you able to write down this? I have given you a plenty of hints. With the help of these hints, you should be able to write down this speech. So I'm giving you as a homework because time is running out. If you're not able to complete this speech, so you can do later on. But do this, continue with this and write down full speech by following all the format that I have discussed with you. Harmeet Kaur has written so nicely. She has texted me. She has sent me a text that if wildlife vanishes, man cannot be really far behind from vanishing. Man also will vanish from the earth after some thousands of years. Wildlife means all the animals, insects, birds, microbes, etc. in the forest other than plants. If the climate changes too much, then human being will not be able to live normally. Yes, very good. She has written. Now time is out. So continue with this and do its practice at home. Clear, students?